Hello, my beautiful souls. My name is SP Psychic Medium, and welcome to the Oracle of the Light channel. So, first of all, I need to say that I was actually speechless last night when I heard this news. I could not believe it when we heard the news that Trump had decided to almost, you could say, go to war with Iran, pretty much. Decided to involve them in this war. Before I continue, though, all the readings are for entertainment purposes only, as you always know when you watch this channel. But let's get straight onto the issue here. So basically, Trump decided to go to war with Iran when he really didn't need to. It was really none of his business. And also, we have to remember that for his actions that he did with these airstrikes, he had no congressional authority. He violated the constitutional oath, which was illegal to do. And also, it's grounds for impeachment. And so this is really, really significant. This is also when he made his announcement, there was no mention of any alliances or anything like that, or coalitions to this agreement. It was literally just, you could say, it felt like almost done off the cuff, just, I don't know, let's just do this, I know he had spoken to some, not Democrat, some Republicans apparently, but he decided to withhold anything from the Democrats, which is also that's just not what you do. When you're doing an action like this, you bring all the parties in, as all the parties are involved in this, but he decided to also just keep the Republicans in the loop, and only very few as well, it should be said. Let me just explain what's gone on if you just caught the news, because it's only very, very recent. So as of June the 21st to the 22nd, as it was in the evening that this happened, Trump decided to significantly escalate the US military involvement by ordering airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, also, there's been loads of reports coming back from Iran as to what they have over there, as to why they have nuclear over there. And apparently the reason they have nuclear over there is for their power plants, not making bombs, okay? But Trump's not listening to any of this. He even said that, actually. There's even his very closest advisors he said he's not listening to. Actually, I believe they both recommended him not to do the airstrikes, but he said he's not listening to them. I believe you could follow that up. So the US strikes targeted Iran's Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan plants using a B-2 stealth bombers equipped with bunker buster bombs and a Tomahawk cruise missiles. Trump declared these sites completely obliterated, apparently. I believe news has come back, though that's not maybe the case. Scale and significance has produced multiple major news outlets describe this action as a direct act of war, a new war. Now, the reason why this is a new war is because this war is all to do with Israel and Iran. US have really nothing to do with this, and he's decided to, by this action, he's almost like stepped right into the middle of this war when it was really none of his business to, Netanyahu, of course, who's been bombing Gaza to the ground, has been wanting people to attack Iran by stoking the flames by going, no, they must have all these bombs. But of course, usually when you follow the constitutional oath and follow the Congress too, they will of course come out the results that Iran doesn't have any bombs, they don't need to be bombed, and then stop that action. But of course, what Trump has done here is he's not listened to anyone. He's just gone off like a wild madman and almost like asked these declared these strikes, and that have actually gone ahead. Russian officials warned that these Trumps by strike risk border and regional conflict and strengthens Iran's regime. And also the US lawmakers are also divided, expressing support, while Democrats and some Republicans also raised constitutional concerns over bypassing Congress. This is hugely significant. In fact, it's so significant that it brings up the question of impeachment for Trump again, okay? This is an impeachable action that he's done, because what he's done is illegal by having no congressional authority makes the act illegal, okay? And this is then it's grounds for impeachment, you know. To some people, it's contested, but to me, it's pretty clear. In constitutional authority, the War Powers Clause, only the Congress has the power to declare war. And there was a great quote from, I've forgotten her name, the wonderful, powerful black woman, said a huge quote about how it is Congress that has the, what is she called? Jasmine Crockett did release a quote about this, about how it is only the Congress that can declare war, not a president, okay? In the Commander-in-Chief Clause, Article 2, Section 2, the President can order limited military action without a declaration of war, but only under certain conditions, imminent threats. But the US wasn't under an imminent threat because the war was between Israel and Iran. We had to remember that. The US wasn't under an imminent threat here. He just decided to weigh in. And so this is hugely questionable what it is. Also, the War Powers Resolution of 1973 requires the president to notify Congress within 48 hours. Well, we all know that the only time they found out about this was after he'd bombed them, you know, with his text. I mean, can you believe that as well? He tweeted about this. As the way the news got out was through a tweet. I mean, honestly, it's just ridiculous, you know. I mean, to give you an idea, the War Powers Resolution of 1973 requires the president to notify Congress within 48 hours of deploying troops or conducting military operations like a war strike, like he's done. It limits such actions to 60 days without formal authorization. And as we know, Trump did not consult Congress beforehand, and there are conflicting reports about whether he has even notified them. You know, it's just absolutely crazy. Then, of course, we have international law. Now, this is where, now I've done a video in the past about this, and where I actually said in that reading, I believe, where it might involve other countries coming in and stepping in. And this is to the aspect they might come in on, international law. On international law, especially the UN Charter, a country can only strike if it is acting in self-defense or it has UN Security Council authorization. Well, we know, number one, the US didn't have UN Security Council authorization. That's pretty clear because that would have been all over the news in that case, and it clearly didn't have that. And it is acting in self-defense. Well, we know that that's not the case either because this war is between Israel and Iran. The US has completely waded into something that it really shouldn't have done, and that's international law, which means that actually this does mean that other countries can potentially step in here, actually, and go, let's get this maniac sorted out here. And you know, and with that, I'm talking about Trump, you know. He is a true international danger now. Because let's potentially, what other countries could he decide to wade into? We know he's been threatening Canada for long enough. We know he's been Mexico, yeah. All of these other random places that he's been threatening. With Trump, you always have to believe what he's saying in a way. When he's saying he wants to, he's not afraid to take them by force. We have to understand what level he's already gone to here now. You know, he wasn't a part of this war. The US is not a part of this war. Well, it is now, but it wasn't. Okay. And so this is why it's called a new war. It's referred to as a new war because it wasn't previously. It was a war between Israel and Iran. And we can see how it's just turned everything up when it really didn't need to be, you know. I will put these details on the description of this video. There are lots of interesting things to read through. The political reality, it says here, is Trump argues the strikes were necessary to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons, framing it as self-defense. However, we know that Trump did not refer to the Congress here. So had he referred to Congress, they would have said they haven't got any weapons. They're using it for the power stations and everything like this. And then it would have been actually prevented from happening, you know. But we all know that Trump wants to be a dictator and he's making all those actions too. He had a very unsuccessful parade. And I think off the back of the parade, he's almost lashing out almost. It could be seen as him lashing out. I think it's absolutely ridiculous and terrible and very, very dangerous, you know. At the end of the day, what he did was illegal, to remember, okay? And really you can add it to the shopping list of many other things that he's done now, okay? And so in this impeachment, I feel definitely needs to be growing in its importance. This is grounds for impeachment, and I don't know what more he needs to really do before someone will take some sort of action here, you know. I feel it's really significant that other countries could step in here. And I think this is really key to remember. The international law has been broken here too. So let's see whether any countries step in as well on that basis too. So, as I say, I do these videos to shine some light and get some insight on things. So the questions I'm going to be asking the cards are, will Trump get a peace deal with Iran? Because ironically, he wants to try and get a peace deal. I mean, it's like a bully at school beating up someone at school and then go, oh, will you be my friend? You know, I mean, really? You know, I believe he even wants to try and get some sort of Nobel Peace Prize. It's like, I know, let me just strike loads of countries and then go for a Nobel. It just beggars belief. It's just like absolutely crazy, you know. So, nevertheless, will Trump get a peace deal with Iran? I'm going to say what the cards say. And then the second question, will Trump be impeached? That's the second question. And then again, let's see what the cards say. It truly beggars belief. And it seems like when things can't get even worse, somehow they manage to. And it's just, I was truly speechless when I found out what he did. Yeah, there are no words. There are no words. So let's see what the cards say. I'm using the Cosmic Tower. As we know, all readings are for entertainment purposes only. But truly does beggar belief. It really, really does. Don't forget, if you do enjoy my channel, everyone, do subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. Okay, so let's get some cards. I'm just going to switch them around a bit. Okay, so will Trump get a peace deal with Iran? Another shuffle. Doing a good old shuffle today. I do also read reverse cards too, everybody. Okay. Right then, so the Two of Swords, Judgment, the King of Pentacles. Wow, interesting. Okay. So, will Trump get a peace deal with Iran? So the first one is the Two of Swords. So things look very bleak, I'll be honest. Things look very bleak, and I feel this is definitely siding with a no here. I feel this is coming out with a bit of a no. I'm going to get a clarification card. But the reason why I first say no is the Two of Swords is to do with hurt. Swords is to do with hurt. And it feels like actually with Trump doing these actions, he's actually hurt Israel and Iran. This is why it's the Two of Swords. I think he's almost like simultaneously actually almost like offended both countries here. You know, it feels like there's like he managed to sort of really steam in and just create so much unrest and chaos, you know. I just get a sense of this being very negative, not very good. I feel that the Two of Swords, you see, is the connection to Israel and Iran, the two countries that previously the war was involved with, you know. I feel that this is really like, it's like if you imagine, you know, like a fish tank, the water settles and it becomes really, really clear. But then suddenly you get disturbance and all of it comes up and you can't see through the water anymore. It feels like the mud's been disturbed almost in that sense, you know. it feels like it's almost like become a lot more complicated all of a sudden overnight, and I think this is definitely, of course, it's hurt Iran already because the attacks were on Iran, and and I think they've already felt like singled out in the sense of what Netanyahu's been doing and everything. But I think it's just further caused even more unrest. I think it's further caused more hurt, more complexity. It's almost like he's just way above his head, actually. Trump stepped into something that is just way above his head, I feel, with this. This is just way above his head. He really, Trump could about manage a game of golf, but that's about it, But actually, I don't know whether he can even manage that without cheating, It's like, I just get him being way above his head. Now, this is really interesting that the judgment card has come out. So will Trump get a peace deal with Iran? No, I don't think he will, because judgment will step in here, Trump, his actions are not actions that are positive, good actions. They're coming from a very self-obsessed, how can he benefit about this? You've got to remember, why has he done this? Okay, he's not done it for America. Trump is potentially going to be getting some personal gain out of this. Okay, now I don't know where that exactly will be at the moment, whether or not it is some reserves, oil or mineral reserves or something like this. But I feel that the reason why he's got involved here is because he wants something out of it. Okay, we also got to remember, the way to Trump's mind is what can he get out of it? And I don't mean America, I just mean Trump, solely Trump. What is there for him to get out of this, getting involved? And so I don't think Netanyahu, believe it or not, he's not actually involved a lot in that sense, I think Trump was itching to go to war with this, and I think that he was itching to get what they had. There's something he wants over there, and I think it's potentially oil and minerals and stuff like that. I feel I am also drawn to the fact that these people are coming out of the earth, and I get a sense of Trump wanting something under the earth. He wants something in there. So why would he bomb Iran? Because he wants to put pressure on them so he can become involved in it. So, well, if you want me out of the way, if you give me such and such, I'll go away. Let's have a peace deal, everyone. Let's all get on together. Give me all of your minerals, and then I can be peaceful. I think that's what this is about. I think that's actually what this is about. This is that's what I feel. So I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is hoping for some negotiation over their country's minerals or their country's oil reserves or something like this. Okay, I would expect this to hear about it in the news in the next coming weeks or week or so, how he hopes to then go into some negotiation, as he will call it. It's not negotiation, because with Trump, it'll be either give me this or we'll bomb you again or something like that. That's not negotiation. Negotiation is when you meet people halfway, when you talk to them and debate and discuss. There's no debating. It's just, I want that, So, especially as he's just had his parade and he's quite emboldened as believing he's a dictator. He's not, But yeah, and the reason why I'm saying that is this last card here, the King of Pentacles. This is Trump. So he wants to count all of his money. Will Trump get a peace deal with Iran? No, but he'll definitely try and get all the money he possibly can out of it for him. There's definitely a sense of him. The judgment will be judge him perfectly fair and square in the fact that the action he did is wrong, but he doesn't mind creating all the unrest and the hurt because he wants to get there. He wants the money. He wants to make money out of it, and he sees a way of making money out of this, and that's why he's got involved. There was no reason for him to get involved in this. We have to remember, no reason at all. And so he wants. There's there's a gain that he wants, and he wants to enrich himself even more. You know, I'm going to get a clarifier card out too. But I don't feel this peace deal is on the cards for him. Because what he's done is illegal. Okay. And has forgotten about Congress and done all of the wrong things, you know. So will he get a peace deal with, let's just move this over there. Will he get a peace deal with Iran? Infinite reach. So to me, no. Now, to me, infinite reach is when you reach for something, like he wants that peace deal, like he wants to hold it. But to me, he's never going to get hold of it, which means he'll be trying to catch it infinitely. It's like an infinite reach, forever reaching for it, but not catching it, you know. So I don't feel he will. I think he'll be trying to grab the money and try to get as much potential wealth and gain from this as he possibly can, you know. That's what I feel with that one. So let's ask the second question then. So will Trump be impeached as a result of this? Because as we know, he's not followed the congressional authorization. He's not got congressional authorization to do this. It was just absolutely crazy what he's done. Absolutely crazy. He's completely unfit to do what he's doing. And as I say, I'm speechless. Okay, so will Trump be impeached? The Magician, the Star, and the Nine of Cups. So the Magician upside down is the Magician is someone who's tricky, but the fact it's upside down says that this person is playing dirty tricks. So he's going to be using every trick in the book to wheedle out of this. Okay, he's going to try and slip his way out of being impeached. He's going to try and trick his way out of being impeached, I feel, with this. The Star, though, is quite an interesting one. I feel this is to do with, though, obviously it's a darkish card, so I don't feel it as a positive card, but I feel this is all to do with giving your power away. So I feel that we may see a drop in energy of Trump, I feel, with this card. So will he be impeached? I feel there may be definitely a dropping of his energy, a giving away of his power a bit, you know, because this is very much like a giving away your power card. Also lowering of energy. So I feel that this might be to do with him, as we know, he's getting older and more unfit. And obviously he's not going to have as much energy. I feel there's definitely this sense of like, there's going to be like a drop of energy. This could be maybe following the impeachment that is on the way. And the Nine of Cups is to do with not feeling the love and obviously falling out. So I think this is to do with, I think impeachment is on the way. And I feel that almost like this is to do with his relationship with MAGA. I think that this is also going to upset a lot of MAGA. And I think it's going to upset them very deeply, as well as the Republicans too. I feel it's going to be upsetting the Republicans too, and really alienating a lot of people here, and that are going to fall out of love with him. And that's why it's upside down, this card, you know. And almost like this one upside down is almost like he's almost like running out of tricks, if you like, and he's going to be caught finally, if you like. It feel like the fact that this is upside down is significant, and it feels like that he's eventually the avenues for running away from the law will run out, and the things that he can do are going to run out at some point, you know. And as you also get to more serious and serious actions, like taking the US into a war that they were never a part of is a huge thing. This is a huge, huge thing that he has just done that is hugely out of order, hugely dangerous, and hugely impeachable. And almost like his avenues are running out here. His tricks are running out. You know, his bag of tricks is getting emptier and emptier and emptier day by day. And I think that this is why it's upside down. So I actually do feel this is a yes. He is going to be impeached here. His bag of tricks is certainly running out. And yeah, it will be interesting to see how it unfolds. I'm going to get a clarifier card from the Oracle of the Light too. Let's just get a clarifier card. Cosmic dreams. So will he be impeached? The cosmic dreams. So in my dreams is coming to mind when I'm seeing this thing. So I don't know whether that's a yes or no. I'm going to have to get another card out. But almost you could say we could only dream of it. So we need to not dream about it. We need to make this a reality about impeachment. I think enough people have been dreaming about it for too long, and people need to start making this a reality. He's dangerous, you know, to a lot of people. Lots of people's human rights are being denied to them as the people are being picked off the streets by ICE every day. It's horrendous to watch, and they need to stop dreaming about this and do it. And then the last card, Lady of Emotions. So will he be impeached? I think that he will be impeached, but almost like I don't know whether it's almost like people's emotions need to be engaged to finally make people move. I don't know whether this is what this is saying, but there's definitely people need to listen to their heart, and they know what is right here. Listen to their heart, and you know what is right, and follow your heart and do what the right thing is. Okay, I think that what that card is, you know. And I want to draw one more card out too. Cosmic Soul. So there's a lot of cosmic dreams going on here. And I think the reason why this is that the question, will Trump be impeached? I think it's going to involve more than one country. I think cosmic is big. This is a cosmic thing that has just happened right now. It's a huge thing. And I think this is what the cards are drawing my attention to. Do you see that's also like a world there as well? A circle of a world. I think the reason why that is because almost like there's going to have to be involvement of more than one country to move Trump along here. You know, I think it's a world problem now. It's not simply a US situation. It's a world international situation now. I think that's where the world involvement comes with this. Okay. And the world needs to do the right thing and act in the right way, following their heart, following their emotions, the Lady of Emotions, and doing the right thing, you know. So, wow, what a reading. But I just thought with it being such an important, I couldn't believe it. As I said, I was speechless last night when I heard the news that he'd really done that. It's like, are you kidding me? He really waded into this war. It was not even his war to wade into. And I knew that I wanted to see what the cards would say about this too. Try to give us some insight. But listen, don't forget, everybody, it's so important we all keep our power and stand in our power and stand up for human rights, everyone's individual rights, stand up for diversity, stand up for LGBT, stand up for trans rights, stand up for women's rights, stand up for everybody's rights. It's so important that everyone as an individual is important. Okay, and what's happening is just unacceptable. Okay, so listen, everyone, do stay safe and stay well and take care, and don't forget, connect to your community and work with the community. Everyone, you're not alone. Everyone is never alone. We always are surrounded by beautiful friends and lovely people around us. Okay, listen, with lots of love and light, I will see you all really, really soon. I hope you enjoyed the reading, everybody. From the Oracle of the Light, I will see you all really soon, everyone. Take care.